Get set, action.
I started out really feeling annoyed. I still feel annoyed. I'm having difficulty finding my inner peace and calm because there are specific triggers or behaviors in others that are consistently provoking me. So what do I do about it? Distance is the first resilience card. So I've already done that. So I'm feeling intense annoyance, so I'm going to visualize a stop sign. I'm going to relocate myself to a different place. And that is away from the source of my annoyance. The source of my annoyance, which is my kiddo, has been sent upstairs. First, I sent him to the shower to calm himself down. And then I sent him upstairs to go for a swim. And also in that regards, it kind of gets him away from me, which helps me get to the place where I can calm down. Which the next thing on my list is calm. So I'm gonna tense a muscle as I breathe in. I'm gonna choose my forehead so you can see. Hold it for a few seconds. And then release that as I breathe out. I'm gonna do that a couple different times in different muscle groups. And then I'm gonna identify 5 things I can see. I can see a brush, I can see this box, I see a shirt, I see the camera, and a bracelet on my wrist. I'm gonna touch 4 objects around me. So I've got a chair, another part of the chair, box, table. I'm gonna listen for 3 different sounds. Sound of tinnitus in my left ear, the sound of the air conditioning, humming, and brief sounds of people off in the distance talking outside. Identify 2 different smells. I smell me. I don't really smell much else. And then taste something or remember a taste. I just had fish with garlic sauce on it, so I'm kind of remember that taste. These are kind of just 3 different options for calming exercises. I could do this 3rd one, but I'm kind of feeling the effects already, which would be to kind of closely observe something in your vicinity. But next, I'm gonna go to forgive. So I'm gonna recall first, which is think about what happened earlier and how my kiddo was just throwing sand in everyone's food and it was making everybody triggered and unhappy and upset and pretty much ruined everybody's lunch. Then I'm gonna empathize. So I'm gonna consider my kid's perspective. And he's possibly hungry, he is possibly bored, he is possibly just in a fit of something that made him kick sand around. Or maybe he just was playing and wanted to bother somebody. Gift. Forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. Releasing the desire for revenge. Luckily, I don't feel like I need revenge on my kid, which is good. But if I did, I'd try to let that go. And then commit and decide to release the negative emotions. I'm gonna decide that I'm allowed to let them go. Like, not just say, okay, I'm gonna let him go and be a directive with myself, but more like I am allowed to let them go. I don't need to hang on to them any longer. It's not serving me. And then hold on, I'm gonna practice, commit, we did that, and then practice forgiving consistently and consciously, even in the face of future triggers. That's calm. And my next is reframe. So my reframe card is to basically describe the situation again, to help process it, visualize alternative scenarios, imagine the situation from an opposing point of view. So I'll take like another family that was sitting nearby, and I wonder what they saw if they looked over at us. They might have just seen a happy family having lunch with a kid kicking some things around. They might have seen one kid being pushed back from the table and wondering what was going on with that. But I'm gonna think about that just from a different angle, just to kind of get outside of myself. Understand what elements are outside of my control. I can't control my kid's behavior and his choice to throw and kick sand on everybody's food. I can't control my triggers or other people's triggers. I just kind of have to realize I can't control those things. I'm going to find a positive sign. What outcome is possible that is positive? I'll tell you what's positive. As we were walking away, and I talked a little bit to my kiddo about this, he noticed that I was having trouble keeping my balance on my tall shoes in the sand because I did not want sand on my feet. I just didn't feel like it. And so he had gotten a little bit farther ahead, but he turned around, came back, and grabbed my hand to help me balance. And I thought that was very sweet because it reminds me that underneath everything, he really is a conscientious and sweet kid, and he's just having a moment. Pretend to be an outside observer and identify which beliefs might be holding me back. That's a really hard one to think about instantly. It's something that you might have to, or at least I would have to reflect on a little bit to think about what beliefs might be holding me back in this situation. It's probably triggers from repeated situations in the past that have me, our brains are prediction engines. That's what our brains are doing almost all the time, is trying to predict the future. And when certain situations start lining up in the same way that they have in the past, our brain just tries to predict, and it's, in this case, a negative outcome that I'm afraid of. So that's something, that's a belief that I have that I need to give myself permission to let go of, especially as our kids get older and more mature and we change. We have to allow them the space to change and give them the permission to do it as well. My last card is a mindset of gratitude. So each of these sequences end in a mindset. You'll see a lot of books about gratitude and things like that. Take some time to write down the things that we're grateful for. I'm grateful to just have this time with my kids and my family. And I'm gonna do a little meditation on that and find a way to give others a reason to be grateful. Well, as my husband and other son were walking back, they stopped and got a gluten-free brownie for me. So I'm gonna be grateful for that. And I'm gonna allow that feeling and that memory to reframe what I experienced. We're done.